Breaking news, Lions fans, and this is the kind of news that Lions fans are going to enjoy. Brad Holmes has officially made his first move in free agency for the 2025 offseason, signing a cornerback to replace Carlton Davis. We're going to talk about it, so stay tuned.
What are we? What makes us what we are and what we're going to be? It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. It doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass.
Can definitely compete with the big dogs.
10-5, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions friends, fans, and family members. Welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike. And as always, we're diving on in. So folks, as I said was going to happen, as I tried to tell y'all was going to happen, Brad Holmes was planning something big. Brad Holmes was definitely getting ready to make moves. Brad Holmes was definitely getting ready to do stuff. And so far, the first domino has officially fallen for the Lions to have made a move this offseason of bringing somebody in. News has been reported that the Lions are signing cornerback from the Jets, DJ Reed, to a 3-year deal. If I recall the specifics correctly, I think it's $48 million with $32 million of it guaranteed. Why is this a big deal? It's a big deal because we were not certain if we were going to get back Carlton Davis. And as is the coming, and the days that have gone by, it became more and more likely that it was likely not going to happen. And obviously, earlier in the day, we found out that it was definitely not happening as Carlton Davis went and signed a 3-year, $60 million deal to go play for the New England Patriots. Why am I excited about this news? Well, one, I'm excited about it because it solves a problem that had just, presented itself with the whole Carlton Davis routine, because it's like, okay, obviously, Carlton Davis was not wanting to come back. He wanted more money. The Lions weren't going to give it to him. So they went out and they got a guy who's very much an equal to what Carlton Davis is. Again, this is very preliminary. This is me just spouting this off the top of my head. But so far, from what I've been able to see from PFF, Carlton Davis and DJ Reed are not very far apart when it comes to being cover corners. They're both very good at what they do in man coverage. They are able to provide excellent man coverage and, sticky coverage in man. So in that regard, I already like the move. Because one, you were able to get a guy that's of equal caliber to Carlton Davis. You were able to get him for a cheaper deal, and on top of that, you're not diminishing the secondary at all. You're still going to have a veteran presence opposite of your two rookies in freaking Rakestraw and Arnold. So for me, that is a big time move. And it tells me that the Lions are actually going to make more moves when it comes to the defense. But obviously, as is everything else, it takes time. You obviously have to negotiate. You obviously have to find partners that are willing to work with you. DJ Reed was one of those guys, and he is now a Detroit Lion. And I'm going to say this right now. This is a pretty big signing because, okay, now you have officially locked up a starting level cornerback for the next 3 years. You don't have to worry about that. We don't have to have the conversation that we had this previous offseason about Carlton Davis. Well, are we going to bring him back? What's he going to want? We got this guy now locked down for the next 3 years. And again, this guy is on a very similar playing field in terms of talent, in terms of on-field production as freaking Davis was. So it's like, okay, you know what? It's a wash, but it's actually not a wash in the sense that we were able to get this guy for cheaper than what we would have given for Carlton Davis. I get it. Carlton Davis wants his money, but you know what? He got all that dinero, and now he's going out to New England. So he goes from a team in the Detroit Lions who were a Super Bowl contender to one of the worst teams in the NFL because he's chasing dollar signs. And it's like, you know what? Hey, you do you, man. You're gonna obviously make your decisions and you're entitled to them. But I can tell you this right now. Good luck winning in New England because right now they're in the middle of a massive rebuild and you've been pretty much living the high-end life for the last, 7 years between Detroit and Tampa. You really haven't had to struggle that much. So that's the one aspect about this up front that I'm really happy about. Brad Holmes recognized that there was going to be a need. He recognized that there was going to be a hole left by Carlton Davis because obviously he was not willing to play for less. He wanted to be greedy, so he went out, he got a guy that's of similar quality for less, and he plugged up a hole for the next 3 years. That right there is Brad Holmes being smart. Recognizing that, hey, I'm not going to be able to get this player back. You know what? That's part of the business. But I'm going to go out, I'm going to get a player of equal quality, equal caliber, and pay them less than what I would have had to have paid to keep this guy. That's smart. So there's that. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, David, you know, that's all great, grand, and glorious. We're glad that we got DJ Reed. It's a good splash. But when are we going to see the edge rushing signing? Dude, it's only the first day. There are still plenty of good quality edge rushers out there that the Lions could very well be talking to, such as Josh Sweat, such as Chase Young, such as Joey Bosa. I mean, for crying out loud, there are plenty of guys. And again, I know everybody wants to keep saying, oh, it's not going to happen, but until it becomes official that it's not happening, do not count it out. The Lions could still very well be in play for trying to make a trade for Trey Hendrickson. We don't know. Again, nobody was expecting that the Lions were going to sign DJ Reed. Nobody thought that was on the bingo card. Everybody was expecting that the Lions were going to sign a cornerback or draft another cornerback, but nobody expected DJ Reed. So for me, it's like, okay, here, you know what? If you're not expecting something or you don't know what to expect, keep an open mind. There's plenty of opportunities, there's plenty of options that are still available in this free agency market because let's think about it here. Most of the moves that I've seen so far already for free agency have been trying to get offensive linemen. Thank God Brad Holmes knows what he's been doing the last couple of years, and the offensive line is good and set to go. We really don't have much to worry about in that department. So while everybody else is trying to scrounge up and freaking gobble up these offensive linemen, Brad Holmes can actually focus on the things that he needs to focus on, which in this case was first and foremost making sure he got a replacement for Carlton Davis. Now he can also continue to focus on, okay, who do I bring in opposite of Aiden Hutchinson to really take this defense to the next level? It's like I said in my previous episode yesterday, folks. I'm telling you, Brad Holmes is not going to leave things, just half done, half baked. He's cooking. He is definitely planning big things. And I guarantee you, this is only the beginning. This is the first domino in many of which to fall. So again, for those that wanted to doubt the whole situation, just like my title image says, the thumbnail image, read them and weep. Because you know what? This is the very first step. I believe there are more to come. But anyway, folks, I just wanted to get this episode out really quickly. Didn't want to take too much time with it because, again, obviously I'm going to talk more about DJ Reed in the upcoming days, take a little bit more closer look at him, be able to give you guys a much more in-depth analysis. But this is just a breaking news preliminary report. So having said that, I'm going to end this episode and say thank you all for watching in another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage y'all to watch the next episode. Also encourage y'all to do one of these three things: like, comment, and subscribe. If by chance you subscribed in the past and you forgot to do so at the time, I want to highly encourage y'all, please make sure you hit that bell notification icon so that way you guys never miss any more content that I push out. Also want to encourage y'all to share this content with your Lions friends and family members. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you possibly can. The more we can do that, the greater the channel can grow and spread. And with that being said, to everybody, I hope you all enjoyed this news. I'm pretty confident a lot of people will. I also hope everybody got something out of it, whether it's the first time you're watching me, you guys have been watching me forever and a day. I also hope everybody has something in their life that makes them happy, makes them smile. God bless, my friends, and until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.